Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here, Raymond Lyons. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Now, look, the Wizards, they got their first post All-Star break win tonight. Deal delivered late as the Wizards hang on to beat the Hawks 119 to 116. Ray, we'll start with you and then Cardell. Just your thoughts on tonight's win. We were talking heading in after the last two games how important it was for them to get on the right side of things. This win, at least for this week, kind of big in terms of tonight's opponent was somebody that was ahead of them in the standings, as is Thursday's opponents, like immediately ahead of them in Atlanta, Toronto. So tonight's win, Wizards go to 29-32. Atlanta falls to 31-31, and then they have a chance to possibly move up a little bit if they take care of business on Thursday. But we're talking about tonight. So Ray, your thoughts on tonight's win?
It's a solid win, man. Like it's they uh they put it together down the stretch. You know, got stops they needed, and Bradley Beal took over on the offensive end. It's it's what you expect from a guy in his position. He's the guy on this franchise, and he needs to come through like this. That's what they pay him for. But but yeah, man. I mean, it's they were solid. They were solid on both ends. Down the stretch of the game. Of course, you would like them to be a little more consistent defensively throughout, but they did what they had to do to win. Kuz, we was talking about it on the Focus show. He started the game under control. Was being aggressive and didn't rely on the 3-point shot. He only took 7 tonight total. He was 2 for 7, but I'll take that over those 2 for 13 nights, man. Those, like we saw the other night, Aaron shot by him just led to everything falling off a cliff. So as more often as he can avoid those type of decisions, the better they'll be, man. He got to the free throw line, had 7 attempts at the line. Um, Gaff was big, had a double double. Then he had 13 rebounds. Um, everybody did their job. Kispert, man, he hit a huge 3 late that kind of sparked them getting back into it. That was a point where things could have got away from him. But yeah, that was a big shot by Kispert. I think they were down 8 at the time, and he hit a 3, and they were down 5. So 101-96, I believe. But but yeah, man, these are the wins they need, especially at this point in the season. Like you said, they got some crucial games coming up with teams that are in their neighborhood in the standings. So if they can put it together and get some momentum heading down the stretch, they'll definitely do themselves some favors. But yeah, man, it's a solid win. Can't really complain. Brad, man, he was great down the stretch. That's you can't ask for too much more, man. He put him on it. He put them on his back offensively and led him to the W.
Cardell?
Yeah, it was Brad Bill was Brad Bill. That's the Brad Bill I expect to see every night. Definitely moving forward, and that's how he should play every night. He scored 7 of the Wizards' last 8 points to make sure they win the game on the road. No Porzingis. Uh, Severely undersized outside Gafford. That's the only one true big. And Taj Gibson came in, gave him some good minutes. But they were dealing with John Collins, Capella, and Kongu, some super athletic young bigs, hyperactive. And the thing I love about Bill's performance tonight, he was relentless. He attacked. He attacked. Like he wasn't settling. He attacked. He got in the paint or he got in the mid range and he went to work. And that's all. And I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell he finished with just 2 free throws, like 2 or 2 from the free throw line. I'm like the way he was attacking, they were bugging, which makes his performance even more impressive. You know what I mean? Because he didn't even get a lot of attempts from the free throw line at all, which is crazy the way he was attacking. But he hit on there and he didn't make a lot of mistakes. He only had 2 turnovers, so 37 to 17 to 30, well over 50%. You know what I mean? Didn't settle for 3. He was 1 for 4. Efficient, aggressive, and he was surgical in how he attacked and how he scored, man. So you can't even. He was amazing tonight. this is the Bill I need to see moving forward. I'm not even saying he need to drop near 40. If he does, great. But I'm not even saying that. I just want him to attack and not settle. He does that, that thing's open the floodgates for everybody, man. And it wasn't just him. The defense, Trae Young got off early. That was the little portion where it's like, here we go again, a little bit where Trae Young was having his way. He was lighting them up in transition, one way or another. Either he was scoring or he was getting the paint, kicking it out Sadiq Bey and Bo Buckets, and they was killing them. And if they miss, then Capella, somebody was cleaning it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Or getting second chance opportunities or getting an offensive rebound, kicking it back out, and then Trae Young's hitting another three. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those spells. So it was like, here we go again. But I love the adjustment Wes Unseld made. Look, DeLon Wright had a rough night chasing Trae Young. He put Jordan Goodwin on him. Jordan Goodwin did a great job. He ain't fall for none of that, and he made Trae Young work. That's when the Wizards started getting stops and were able to kind of get back close. They didn't quite get the lead till late in the fourth, but they were getting close. They was hanging around, and that put the pressure on the Hawks to have to execute. And with the job Goodwin was doing on Trae Young, and I can't even speak on the show about tonight's game and not mention Daniel Gafford and the effort he put in. Man, he was wrestling all three of them dudes. You know, finished with 13 to 12, 3 blocks. Probably altered about 7 more of them. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't playing. And the times Trae Young did get past Goodwin, Gafford was glass in that joint. They was going the other way, and they was getting easy baskets, man. Look, I know the Wizards, they got killed in transition, and that a lot of that had to do with early on. You know, 22 to 8 fast break points, Hawks favor. But the way they were attacking, led by Bill, they outscored the Hawks in the paint, 66-52. That's how they made up for it. That's what we've been talking about all year, man. Look, shooting a bunch of threes is fool's gold. Yes, you can start off hot. You can start off hot, man. You can first quarter, man, you be like 9 to 12. Like, man, they cooking out here. But you're going to come back down to earth. And when you come back down to earth, that's when other teams who stay steady are going to be able to walk you down, like what we saw with the Knicks last week, a few days ago. You know what I mean? Now it's more pressure on you to have to shoot like that, and then you're out of rhythm. You're not really confident scoring from anywhere else because you haven't been doing that. But tonight they didn't allow that to happen, man. And they were better off for it, man. Like this was, I'm impressed by this one because of what's at stake. They lost 2. They need this. The Hawks and them are close in the standings. They needed this win bad on the road. I don't know. People looked at the Wizards schedule. They got a bunch of heavy hitters coming up this month, man. And they're gonna play them. A few of them they play twice. So this gonna be a make or break month before we even get to April and start talking about playoffs, man. Like if they don't handle business this month, they're gonna be up out of there. So and you can see the urgency because Bill was just like, dog, we lost 2 games we probably shouldn't have lost to Chicago in the next. I'm not allowing that to happen, dog. So he took control, and we need Bill to be like that, man. Because why can't he be the best player on the floor most nights? You know what I mean? Or at least match the other team, the KDs and Steph Curry's. That's what he's getting paid to do. That's what they expect from him. Dog, we say this all the time, and this is just a standard of the NBA since we've been alive. If you have a great player that you call a franchise player, max type player, they should be good enough to carry you to the playoffs, man. So that's the standard I'm holding Bill to. I feel like he's that good. So look, get him in the playoffs, man. And what makes him more impressive also, no Porzingis, and he still pulled it out. So hats off to him.
For sure, like you guys said, that says urgency was needed. You could ill afford to start this stretch. You could ill afford to lose another game. Just be honest. You couldn't afford to lose another game. To start the post All-Star break, Cardell, like you said. I know they play a ton of home games this month, but the quality of opponents is crazy, and everybody knows what's at stake. Even if you're at the top of the food chain, you don't want to drop games right now. Try to make sure you're at home early on. There's no the nights we had at the beginning of the year when teams come to DC and kind of rest. That's done. That's gone. Every team's best player that's healthy, when they come out there, if they're out there on the floor, it's to get the job done. That's what it is. We said it coming out the All-Star break. We said it going into the All-Star break. It is officially go time. Whether you're trying to get into play in or if you're at the top of the standings to retain your spot. It just is what it is. All right, guys, we have player of the game. I gotta ask it. I think we know what it is.
Before we get there, so the Raptors beat the Bulls, so that gave them a little bit like a game up. That pushed with the win. The Wizards move a game and a half up, but then the Raptors win, puts them a full game up on the Wizards, and I believe they play Toronto next, right? Looking at the schedule.
Yeah, they play on Thursday.
Yep, they play them here at the crib. See why they like back to back, so they play them Thursday and Saturday. That's why this win was huge, dog. Because they lose this, they a half game up on Chicago because they lost. And then what happens if you lose to the Raptors twice? You out of the play-in spot, man. You out of there. So look, they they got to win these games, and then you got to you got to handle business against the Raptors because on Sunday after the Toronto, you got Giannis coming to town. Like that's what I'm saying. And then okay, fine. You got the Pistons on Tuesday. You can't really you can't really just say, that's a win. Because you haven't beat those type of teams all year. So you got coming in with the same urgency. But then you right back at it with pretty much the Hawks back to back. Then you got Embiid. You got the Pistons again. You got the Cavs, the Kings, a much improved Magic team, Nikola Jokic, the Spurs. Yeah, you should definitely smack them. Then you got the Raptors against Celtics and Magic to close out the month. Like this month real. So we gonna find out real soon if the playoffs is realistic, though. It's real. As long as
hey, dog, by the end of March, you're either in the playoffs or not. It's that simple. And like you said, you mentioned some of these teams you're playing twice back to back. That is a chance to not only bury those teams look at a chance to bury you where you're at in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
That incentive goes both ways. If you're the Raptors, you're trying to take both of those games this week. Not only does it give you cushion, it keeps them where they're at.
Oh yeah, and people out there, this is the time to buy tickets because players definitely will be playing. They're gonna have to play. All that load management, that ain't fly right now. No, they're like, what? All right, it ain't gonna fly. Load management that could cost you. That could cost you the playoffs, and that's gonna cost you money when it comes to the table start negotiating. So it's real right now, and you can see the urgency, man. So I'm loving it, man. You know, big win.
For sure. All right, player of the game. They can know what it is, and you guys go ahead, though. I'm supposed to ask. All right, cool. No. Ray, you have no other? No, we're not fighting this. All right, X Factor.
Oh, Gafford, easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy.
He did a hell of a job going to war against that front line tonight, and he had to do it all game. And like you guys said, shout out to Todd as well. I want to get to some of these comments, and isn't that fun? No, last 20 games of the year shouldn't have came to this, but last 20 games of the year, and it is what it is. I just want to preface it with damn sure shouldn't have came to this. With the money you put into this roster, you should not be here. However, you are what you are. We are here, and like Cardell said, that's the good part. It's sad that we're at a state where the last 20 games of the season is when you probably get more bang for your buck ticket wise, but that's another discussion. Michael Kirksey started off with Bill. Great way to close. Look at y'all being complimentary of Brad tonight. How about that? Biggie Steve said it's been a minute since I got my 50% off Papa John's and my Big Mac. Good with and Brad, you're finally looking like 250 mil again. Man, this is the Brad we need going forward from Big O. 62 points in the paint and not so many threes taken, 6 for 21. Good stats. And I like the fact they kept the turnovers under double digits with 8. They could clean it up just a little, but kudos. And Gaff, big minutes, 34 minutes, 12 rebounds, and 13 points. So
what turnovers you talking about?
Yeah,
even in single digits, you hooping, man. Like that, you hooping, bro. Like
it ain't much more you can do in that regard. It's only at 8 for the game.
Come on, man. 8 turnovers, single digits, you getting it done, man. Now, if all 8 is by one player, I get it, but you know what I'm saying. As a team, any coach can live with that.
All right, 17 to 20 from the free throw line. Every one of those 17 were needed. Congrats. Congrats on not going 12 for 20 from the line.
Yeah, that would have cost him the game. But seriously, yeah, Bill should have got to the free throw line a lot more. That was crazy. He was in that paint all night.
I love what I seen tonight. Bill just need to be consistent, and we need KP and Monte back healthy. Biggie Steve said we got the 10th spot. We lose this game, we're 11. I got tickets March 31st. My stepdaughter's performing on the court. Congrats to her. Congrats to her. And hopefully you'll be celebrating that and possibly, like, you know, your team might be in a better place in the standings. You know, possibly. It's up to them to do that part, though. We hope she does a great job. But again, we're going to be talking to y'all a lot this month. A ton this month. So thank y'all for tuning in. As always, if I have no more comments and or questions, we will see y'all Thursday night after the first Raptors game this week, because it's Raptors break, Raptors Bucks. Break back-to-back games Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a great night.